Les Petits Bouffons are leading the charge, one map advantage against Hookars, which also happens to be their own map pick, and so far that is the most solid performance we've seen on a first mapper here at Polaris over the last 2 days. I'm Jeannie, joined by MP, and we're going to be heading into Ascent next. MP, expectations, thoughts, emotions, feelings?
I just hope it's not going to be attacker side this time, because all of the last 3 Ascents, it has been like a snowball after you get like a few rounds in attacking side, and it even ends up boning it out. It's really hard to come back when you're on attacking side or when you're on defending, and the attacker side gets like 4 rounds in a row and maybe one like highlight clutch. It's a really hard snowball that you can come like through with, and I just hope it's not gonna happen once again here. I hope we're gonna see even Ascent, because that's what we're lacking in this matchup. I'm on the side of Hookars. My prediction, we're on the side of Hookars. So I hope for that third mapper, but we're gonna see.
Well, to put your mind at ease a little, I guess we're going to have to dig more into Les Petits Bouffons and their performance on Ascent, specifically over their performance in the upper finals of the Beacon Split, and the fact that they lost both to E-Masters and to Vamonos on this map. So in terms of their strength, potentially this could not be it. But from what we've seen last time around, MP, it feels like the experience that the players have on this roster specifically is just potentially a little above Hookars' experience, and that's not very far-fetched. It felt like Hookars, they were starting to panic a little, whereas when we were looking at the side of Les Petits Bouffons, they very much stayed focused, and they were happy to continuously switch up the pace.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at even the teams that these players have played for, Laza for Mouse, Gray for Mad Lions, and 10-star, he even played for Polaris previously. Russ, 10-star, and Guild. Link played forever for Liquid before that, Fizz 1, 2, 3, and Wong with Focus. It's a lot of experience behind them, and I think Les Petits Bouffons, they're in a sense similar to Apex, that they have a lot of experience backing them, but I think the team synergy here and there, it's opening up some cracks. I think Hookars, they were able to make some dents here and there, but I think it was just the lack of getting those entries. I think there was a lot of pressure for the side of Hookars as well to perform, and like we saw from Laza, like we saw from Les Petits Bouffons, there's that one player who stepped up tremendously, which allowed them to get that lead, allowed them to get multiple kills, entries, be that turn on Hookars' side. And for Hookars, they were so even. 3 kills was the difference for the best and the worst player. But I think for this Ascent, you need one player stepping up tremendously. Is it David? Is it Mishu? Someone who's going to take that crown? I think we need one of them at least.
Oh, David on the KO and Mishu on the Jet. Akimbo on the Omen. That's familiar, but it feels like another mirror matchup here. Seems like every single team has run this composition on Ascent so far.
Yeah, there was only one exception of the... I think it was on the side of Bonk when they run triple initiator, or was it Focus? Either way, that was the only exception, and I think otherwise it seems like this composition is heavily favored in Ascent, and I mean, it's a default composition. It's a really good composition, and after KO was added, I think it's the better pick than Breach in this map. Breach used to be a really good pick, really solid pick here, but I think KO just makes it so much better. You can do a lot of pop classes, but have that extra bit of information as well, and you can stop side pushes. Ratsky going back to that Killjoy instead of the Omen, I'm happy to see that, and I think Ratsky could even be the difference maker. Like Kick said, Ratsky is gonna drop 63 kills, and if it's gonna be 2 mapper, he's gonna have to hurry.
Yeah, I mean, time's ticking right for Ratsky, but all in all, it feels like Hookars, if anything, this is where they have the most pressure, because not only is this their map pick, and it's a map that we said that initially we are a little worried about from the side of Hookars, they are also 1 map down. So for them, getting this, starting it off strong is going to be important, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're getting picks left, right, and center. Les Petits Bouffons falling apart a little in this pistol round. They're only leaving 1 player to clean it up, and that's Link.
Just as you saying it, Hookars, they started strong. Good pick instantly from Laza, but that's traded out threefold. And who cares? 4 players already on site. Spike is getting planted. Maybe not the most optimal position, but at this point, who cares? Link
okay.
with the frenzy. Sole player left for this pistol round.
Well, the skin actually for a second made it look like a sheriff, and I was like, frenzy, but never mind. That's on me. He's gonna have to deal with breaking the door open. He's either gonna have to make noise breaking the glass. So wherever he decides to play that retake from, there is gonna be audio cue given away, and Hookars are gonna be able to reel it in and figure out, you know, how they want to counteract that. But with the time ticking, it's just a matter of Link dying and not giving up one of those orbs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great plan. We've seen this previously. You don't want to really risk anything, give any money.
This is the 3rd time.
Out for Hookars and those orbs.
I think this is the 3rd time we see it. On that exact same ramp. On that exact same site. In the last 2 days. On the pistol round.
And look at Link's stats. That doesn't actually count for the deaths. So basically Link didn't die. Also he didn't get an orb. But when you omen that from the shadows, it's not that good when you compare to like Hunter's Fury and Lockdown or something else like Null Command.
Different ults with different impacts.
Absolutely. And different cases. You can have like really good side setup with from the shadows as well, but Link being on the defensive side, it's not gonna matter too much. All it's gonna count for is like fast rotates, which is really important as well, but I think it just doesn't matter too much. Gray, it could pay off.
Yeah, the turret here is gonna pick out a bit, but Kimbo, he's making sure that he's not playing too close, but Link creating another close range fight by using the smoke and hiding in it himself. He's gonna be able to pick up that shorty. He has to be dealing with the Kimbo, but Mishu is absolutely ready for that one. Complete and accounted for, and Fong also with a shorty. What is the gun of choice? Luzu's gun of choice is a Marshall, may I add, which he's also taken away from Mishu. That's the only player that they have lost so far. Ratsky also gets spotted out. Russ is on a little bit of an adventure. If I do say so myself, most likely we'll be able to hear these rotations coming out. And with 30 seconds on the clock, Petits Bouffons are sure that B-side is the target.
Alarm bot is gonna get triggered. Russ just playing with mask right there. Fong was trying to enter to the site. Was already down to 50 HP, and Ratsky's gonna deal with Russ. I think Ratsky is gonna be menace on this attacking side. All these lurks, everything from the side of Killjoy is gonna be so devastating.
Yeah, not just that, but also the fact that obviously looking at Hookars' weaponry coming into this, they did have the better buy. And second time, I don't want to speak too early. As Luzu finds a pick and is looking to play out even more aggressively. That is a Spectre against a Marshall, but he has to go for the reload. Ratsky, though, not on the same page. And that leaves Vong by himself once again. One player remaining from the side of Petits Bouffons. And looking to die to the spike. This is actually... I remember you mentioning last map specifically. That is the first time, I think, that we've seen the second round being won as cleanly as we did. This could be the second time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, respect to these teams.
Yeah.
They're taking it slow, playing it really well as a whole team. Obviously, there's a little bit mistakes here and there, getting caught by Lassos Marshall, but I think that was overall pretty decent. Akimbo saving out that Phantom, Bulldog as well. This is a thrift shot buy. Every player has a different weapon for the side of Hookars.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with thrifting, save the environment. But when you're on a game like Valorant, I guess, having different guns for different players, suboptimal buy. But still, you have an advantage already. And you even have the util that you're going to be deploying to clear out some of the lines of sight. Vong and Rust have a say in it, and they say, this home is mine. 3 players left from the side of Hookars. Limited util as well, as most of it has already been used to get Mishu onto site. To clear out some of those corners. I love how everyone's using that spray. It's really cute.
Yeah, I actually like it. It's gonna be real rough for Hookars to enter the site. It actually would be perfect time to go right now, and they will. Link on site. Is there gonna be any support?
Oh, doesn't need the support. He's got himself. He's supporting himself, backing himself. They only lose one player in the process, and that's Fong. David wanna try to make it hurt, but he's not gonna be able to do so. Petits Bouffons, they get their round on the board.
That's a good round. They need to start getting warm already. Well, actually, if we think of today and yesterday,
yes,
you don't have to be warm on Ascent's defensive side. You just have to play the attacking side really well.
It feels like this is a theme that we're gonna be seeing most likely in the next games for a while.
Yeah, it could definitely be. But Hookars, they are here to set the pace. The pace seems to be a little bit slower, taking over Catwalk, just clearing out every corner with their Sova recon bot.
Yeah, and that's also respect though, that they are getting out of Petits Bouffons, because Petits Bouffons, never mind. Luzu immediately, with the 2 picks, takes 2 of their members down with him. And Hookars, again, left to figure out how are they going to approach this round, because they left a spike already outside A, and it looks like it has to be that commitment. You're going to be walking into Cray, who's done so much on the Cypher, looking to replicate that success on Killjoy.
The rotations coming through as well. The help from Wong. Ross coming through as well. Has fun. Flash drive still available. If the side commit is gonna come through, 45 seconds on the clock. Still a lot of time to play with. For Hookars looking to commit in this side.
Getting back to safety. The more time that Petits Bouffons is buying themselves, the stronger their position is gonna be. Cray finds one. Playing from hell. Mass is gonna be able to close that door off. Again, sound cues are gonna be it's gonna have to be broken by Hookars. But Mass and Akimbo on that 2v3 mission. Teamwork could potentially make the dream work. 2 people positioning out from rafters, and that blind comes through immediately. Mass, though, is not gonna be able to connect any of the shots, but Akimbo does. That dwindles the numbers down to 2. And with that, Akimbo finds another. He's even pushed Link off of the trees simply because of the blind that's coming out. Mass was looking to play off of that. And now Link has to deal with no 1, but 2. 8 bullets and a dream. Time is ticking. He's got to make it work now or never. And Akimbo says never it will be. Hookars, they're looking strong again.
It looked like there was no chance. They were hesitating so long. Just dealing, what, 30, 45 seconds on the clock to even enter towards the site. They clear the site, get the spike plant. Petits Bouffons has the advantage. But beautifully played by Akimbo and Mishu. This is the synergy I'm talking about. These players have been together for so long. They know exactly how to support each other. They know exactly what each other needs. And right there, when Akimbo picks, I think Mishu is, or Mask is ready to pick instantly. And Petits Bouffons, they go for the timeout. Maddie, who is the coach for Petits Bouffons, is most likely going to be calling this timeout.
Yeah,
I think informing their players.
Next course of action. I think in Petits Bouffons, what we've seen a lot in the last map, which we're lacking a little bit here, I think is mainly that aggression. So it feels like for now they give a lot of respect to Hookars, which they did mention that they don't want to, but on Fracture it felt like Petits Bouffons was very proactive in their defensive side, just as they were in their attacking side. They're happy to be pushing out. This time around though, they're not as aggressive. So as much as time is dwindling from the side of Hookars and they're waiting for those last couple of seconds to get onto that site, Petits Bouffons is not punishing them hard enough and not getting early picks and backing off.
Yep. And for me, for that retake, it seemed like Petits Bouffons, they weren't quite sure about their abilities. I just think they weren't confident enough to go for that retake. They were kind of separated, taking those duels one by one. You have a smoke coming up from the side of Link. You should have waited that. Just isolate that one angle and then go deal with that side as a 3-player group. But you go for those 1v1s, and Hookars, they're gonna capitalize. Laza?
Oh, Liz is looking to find a pick, but little does he know all 4 members from the side of Hookars are on Cat. They're happy to take him out. They're happy to clip his wings. Instead, Loser decides to reposition, and this is the mid reinforcement that we've been talking about.
Yeah, this is exactly what you have to do when you play Jet. If it's operator, anything that you want to go aggressive with, you have to reposition.
Ooh.
But Mishu doesn't care about that.
Wall bang. Absolutely does not care about anything. Doesn't even care about the wall. Sometimes I forget that Ascent is made out of cardboard, but that's okay. Because you get great plays like these.
Absolutely. Course, they're looking to close in the B side. 4 players close. Mask is gonna be left behind, but I think this should be enough. Unless...
No, Vaughn gets a spike though, but Rasky and Mishu still holding out that hope for the rest of the team. They're now very far ahead in terms of their numbers. They get the spike down. Surge, 14 seconds left. Cray though. And Kimbo unfortunately teleports right into his crosshair. A little unfortunate. But in order to get that lockdown, he needs a total of 2 picks. Gets spotted from CT. Has that reinforcement in terms of Link being there. There are so many angles that need to be cleared. Swarm grenade going out onto main. It's gonna make it a little bit difficult to actually go for that peek. So Ratsky doesn't need to go for it. Mask finds a first. Link. Gonna take Misha out. That's the side effect gone. He finds another pick. This is the Link that we've expected to be seeing here. He's now up on a one-on-one against Mask. Time is ticking. Needs to go for that defuse if he wants to. He's gonna tap it, forcing Mask out with that utility. But there's not gonna be enough time.
No.
There is not enough time. That was a beautiful play from Link, but unfortunately a little too late. He manages to perfectly isolate the 1v1s. But unfortunately for Petits Bouffons, a little too late.
Link. At least for me, in Liquid, he used to be the clutch master.
I mean,
me, I think,
definitely.
Used to be so many rounds where Link would win these 1 versus X situations, and once again, he's bringing it so close. But who cares? They are still 4 ultimates up in a better buy. And Le Petit Bouffon, they don't have anything to go for. Couple serifs, yeah. 1 Marshall also. Not this time.
Nope, not this time. A little bit of a scary one. Sometimes VALORANT can be a scary game.
Sometimes.
But most of the times it's about who gets onto the side and plays the post plant. Which so far, you know, Hookars have been really good at doing. That attacking side here on Ascent for every single team as of today and yesterday. They've been doing really well. Link's not going to land that initial shot. Gonna have to back off on their hell, but position is revealed, so a lot of pressure that we can be expecting from Hookars, but that Killjoy setup, yeah, Misha, you're gonna have to dash through that if you want to, but the rest of the team cannot follow. And Akimbo, he, the spidey senses, you know, takes Russ out, because he had a feeling that that was coming.
Absolutely, that's a good reaction. There's way too much utility come from the side. Just to enter down there, it's gonna chill down, fall back, look for those flanks. That's a good first pick.
30 seconds
Petit
left.
Bouffon. Oh, Link, so aggressive, but the drone is gonna come through. Is it gonna even spot Link? No!
I mean, it's gonna spot it, but a little too late. He finds one. Akimbo trades him out. Oh, Cray, the shots are not going to quite connect as of yet. The reload's coming out. The flash too. He's going back into safety. Just literally 5 HP.
10 seconds left.
Loser's coming with that Marshall. Every member is now being put down. Loser looking to equalize it. Gets 1. Still 3 more to deal with. They are all low on HP. But is that Marshall going to be enough? Again, the flash coming out from David. Pushing it off a little further back. This is a clutch or kick.
Laza, 1 shot for each would be enough.
Oh, he finds the first
one.
Still
No!
against a second. There is absolutely no way that this is currently happening. Goes for an updraft, but Masked puts an end
Close
to potentially another clutch. And that's Petits Bouffons with the 2nd clutch in a row being absolutely denied.
Such a close round for Laza. Already great performances in Fracture. Look at this. Just clean shots. The second one. The dash. Exactly. At the same time. And Masked. It doesn't look like he's scared. He's confident with that duel. but I bet he's shaking right there. 2 of his teammates just got taken out. And Laza could kill him with the 1 shot in the body. Not quite. Who cares? They take the lead. They secure the lead even more. 5-1.
Yeah, it's looking a little difficult here for Les Petits Bouffons, which is their own map pick. So as much as they made Hookar struggle on their map pick Fracture, now, you know, you're getting it back. They're paying it back. They gotta tag a player, but not much to be played off of that. Mishi goes out for the peek. He's not gonna find a single player as of yet. All in all, Hookars has been very systematic in their approaches to getting onto the site. Misha's gonna dash into smoke, gets tagged a little, but is still looking to wrap around. Vong taking into consideration the fact that he can be swarmed from left, right. He's looking for that elevation, doesn't have his gun out in time, but Cray is there to the rescue. And so is Akimbo, equalizing the playing field. 40 seconds on the clock. And Hookar sitting comfortably onto B.
Yeah, but this leaves a lot of good utility for the side of Hookars. Lockdown, Hunter's Fury, even from the shadows for repositioning, could be used. But Ross is so quick with the null command. There's not a chance they can use any utility. Ratsky doesn't need that.
Null command? I mean, Lucy potentially revive me, Jet. Never mind. Jet's the one needing reviving at this point, but there's no stage available. Link again left to his own devices, but we said it before, we'll say it again. This is the exact same position that these players were in last time. Ratsky's going for that peek. They're giving him the isolated 1v1s. Mass has already started it off. He gets blinded, looking to go for. Ratsky finds it as well. Has to swap to the classic. Only 1 bullet left in the chamber. And Akimbo is wrapping around Link. Once again, we've seen this before. He's not gonna have enough time. He's gonna look to get out. Gets taken down by this spike. Oh my goodness, that is such a heartbreaker. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and Hookars, they have won 4 rounds in a row. But look at the bank. They're drained out. They have to look for the options for a loan right here. What? That shows the skill of Le Petit Bouffon. That shows how close the rounds have been in the last 4 rounds. And the 1 slight chance for Link. Could that be? Oh! No! Wong! Gets 1, tags few.
Oh, but Link gets another one. Although a few are tagged. This is the aggression from Les Petits Bouffons that is needed for them to put Hookars back in their place, because Hookars, they're driving that car right now. They're driving. Sorry. They're driving. See, that was such a terrible pun. Please, I'm sorry. But the kill, the thing is, the ult economy still, for Hookars, it's looking good. Now, because the Hunter's Fury has been used by Vong to get that first pick, they don't have the Hunter's Fury to clear out the lockdown. So they're flushing players out of the site. They're using the Hunter's Fury to potentially catch up on any rotators. And that means that Les Petits Bouffons, they need to let them get that plant. And Ratsky is pushed up so aggressively.
Oh, Ratsky going for it. Can he get a second one? Link is letting him back off. 3 vs 3 situation, but the rifle, they are on the side of the whole car. It doesn't matter.
Crane, not just a util, but that sheriff as well. And that leaves Ratsky all by himself. He needs to go for 2 players, but he has to go for that reload. And as he does, Link is finally hot on his heels. That clutch coming out has enough time to go for that defuse. And Les Petits Bouffons have done it. A thrifty, a clutch, after 3 unfortunate attempts.
Link. I think that's probably a so good feeling for Link. Just finally getting it down. And that was a thrifty round. It wasn't an easy round to win. And all of a sudden, Les Petits Bouffons, they are able to just turn it upside down. Who cares? They don't have money. Ratsky can buy maybe a half shield, Bulldog, something like that. There's not much you can invest. Ratsky was on fire in this round, but not quite enough. 1 bullet in the chamber. Classic in the back pocket. But I think Ratsky reads this a little bit wrong. I'm pretty sure Ratsky thinks that Link is already going to the site with those smokes and couple footsteps. So he goes for the reload and actually gets caught off guard. Le Petit Bouffon, they finally get that second round.
Yeah, this could be what they need. That morale boost, because now you're also pushing Hookars on that eco.
And Laza going for the operator as well. It was great on that previous map on Fracture.
Yeah.
I think it's harder to work in Ascent in terms of that it's so easy to clear out if you're just careful. But I think Laza, he has a really good support system. Wong probably gonna be playing that drone out in B main, trying to support that operator, get that deep angle. Gonna be able to get a good position where the operator can just hold and cover an angle at least.
Yeah, getting also the timeout. Oh, it's a tech pause actually from the side of Bouffons. So a little bit of a. I mean, I don't want to say that they're building the momentum, but I think they're feeling a lot of relief after that round being secured, especially because it's a thrifty round for the side of Bouffons. Whereas when you're looking at Hookars, this is going to give them the opportunity to kind of like sit down and just individually think about the last round and also what can they do to continue their momentum, because they have been so incredibly strong.
Yeah, I think one of the best parts for Petits Bouffons is that Hookars, they don't have money to buy full rifles. That could be so good opportunity for Petits Bouffons just to capitalize off of that, get that second round, get that momentum building. But it's not given that they will win this round. We have seen how these rounds pan out. David having that null command available could mean that if they get few picks, they're gonna have a real solid setup. It seems like Petits Bouffons, they are so ready for this. Oh, yes, they are.
They are ready for such an aggressive play. You blink and you absolutely miss it. Luzu back on what we've seen him on last game around. He's got to look to get maybe another, but Vong is the one to come out instead. Mast wants to take that operator offline, but that's not going to be the case. He's now left with Akimbo. Has a stinger, but it was so far away. For him to get that support from the teammate, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, he could probably retrieve that rifle in main as well. A lot of pings coming through. Smoke. Mask will be able to pick that up. How much is it gonna help in this round? I don't know quite yet. It's better than nothing. Akimbo looking for something in short. I think there's alarm bot combination with this. Yeah, nano swarms, alarm bot. There's no way Akimbo is gonna make his way through here.
No. And now Hookars, I mean, Mask did manage to get a Vandal. It's a possibility that they decide to go for the save here.
30 seconds left.
That means that next round, he could potentially buy something for his teammate, get more of that util. Akimbo does a little bit of damage to Petits Bouffons' economy, make that a little bit ×2. But Luzu on that operator, hey, that was the 4K that they needed.
Absolutely. But Akimbo is so clean with the Seraph. It was even Fracture in the tower, getting those 3 kills, and now once again showing why he's so good with that gun, why he keeps picking it when it's an eco round. Laza's operator, they know it hurts. It hurts so much. And those 4Ks, it's not a new thing for Laza. Absolutely at all. And this operator could snowball out of hand.
Yeah, but that's also the thing with Laza. He was the one to be doing the most of those first initial picks. Lego doesn't even have to use the operator to clear out that turret. The support system that Petits Bouffons has behind this player is incredible, and he is thriving.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was saying. The drone out of B main, getting that angle, and getting the spike down as well. But Hookars, they have had some good control in mid. Mishu barely survives.
Yeah. It's gotta get an upgrade, but Link is heavily tagged him. They're aware that it's mid. And Vong is coming up, but never mind. You don't need Vong. You have Lizzo and the operator. That's all you need this time around. Who knew? Who would have thought?
I guess we should have known.
Yep, not me.
We should have known that Laza will be making a lot of good things with this operator. This time around, Petits Bouffons, they are in 3 versus 2 situation. They have been here before, and exactly Akimbo and Mask were the 2 players.
But it feels like Petits Bouffons have also reeled it in a little. Yes, they're going aggressive. Yes, they're pushing out. which is what we haven't seen from them as of yet on this map. But also, it has been more calculated. They have been trying to make sure that every aggressive play that they go for at least has a certain reality of it working out, especially when Vaughn clicks head just like that. That is the Bouffons starting to close out the gap a little, building potentially momentum, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, and for me, I don't think that retake was necessarily any better than the previous one. One going for those 1 versus 1 duels. But it seems like they have been gaining a little bit of confidence in this past few rounds to be able to go for those and actually win them. And on the side of Hookars, they might have been losing some confidence in those duels. You see kind of shaky aim coming through from both Akimbo and Mask, not being able to react too much on Wong peeking that corner. And Hookars, I think they noticed this. I think they noticed that something is wrong, and we just have to go for the timeout.
Yep. But again, that timeout also is going to give Petits Bouffons how they want to approach this, just because of the ult economy that we're looking at when it comes to Hookars. They're one off lockdown. They have the Hunter's Fury. They have the Null Command. They have from the Shadows. So Hookars are in a good position in terms of using this ultimate. So therefore, Petits Bouffons needs to have a strategy in place. Do we wait with the Hunter's Fury because there's only two ult orbs away? Do we wait until the lockdown is being deployed, or do we do what we did earlier? We use the Hunter's Fury early in the round. We try and get a couple of picks, and then this gives Hookars the opportunity to use that lockdown freely. So it's gonna be this like life old question, right? What comes first, the chicken or the egg, the Hunter's Fury or the lockdown? You're stuck in this limbo.
Absolutely, and a lot of the times when you're facing a Killjoy and you see. Or you get that Hunter's Fury as a Sova, you want to save it until the Killjoy gets the lockdown. You just want to counter it. Hookars, they don't have a buy here. I mean, actually a decent amount of weaponry coming through, a Vandal, Bulldog, and a Bladestorm. So there's Le Petit Bouffon, they cannot let it go loose.
Yeah.
Still, it's not the best round for Hookars in terms of their guns.
We've seen them do a lot with less, and we've seen them do less with more. So I think this is more coming down to individual plays, timings, just like these. Ratsky immediately blowing it wide open, but Luzu punishes him for the over-aggression, gets a little too eager for that orb, even though he already had that lockdown available. Mishu's gonna have to push through Cray with the mollies underneath him. And that's gonna be the end of it. That Bladestorm is offline.
Yeah. Will Akimbo go for the spike with from the Shadows? Seems like not. They want to group in the B main. They want to just get this spike down, not to steal it in front of Russ. And the stack is on the A side for Le Petit Bouffon. Russ solo left. Holding on the B side. No command.
No command though. Yeah, they're looking to turn up the heat a little, at least onto B. But you're going to be walking into Russ, and he's going to find that first pick. He's looking to get that second. Aware of the position. Vong, though, he's the one to be coming out on top. Spike has been completely dropped. Akimbo is going to get a chance to pick it up, but he only has 10 seconds left. There's not going to be a res, unfortunately, for David, which means that Akimbo's going to be in a 1v2 scenario, and he's going to lose it to Luz, because Luzu has that Bladestorm online. And that's a defuse, again, coming out from Petits Bouffons. And these retakes are getting better.
Absolutely. That was kind of awkward situation for Hookars. Yeah. David able to give a lot of information even though he's downed, knowing that they're not going to push on the side, and Akimbo plays accordingly but doesn't quite get that 1 versus 1. When you have jumping Jet against you, it's kind of hard to hit when he has the Bladestorm. Beautiful pick by Ross, doesn't quite account for the Omen being already on backside, but still 1 for 1 I think in that situation is great. Le Petit Bouffon, they're closing in on equalizing this half and getting to 6-6.
Yep. And getting onto that 6-6 is going to make that next pistol round even much more crucial, because that's where you can build that momentum, which currently is in the favor of Les Petits Bouffons, who are, as we said, on the defensive side, which so far, for some reason, has actually been the weakest side of Ascent here at Polaris.
Yeah, I don't know what is happening. Like, the attacking side has been ridiculous for these teams. Also,
he's going to spot a couple of players, but he will have to go back into safety. And that's the aggression from Les Petits Bouffons that we've seen on that first map, and they're replicating it now here onto Ascent. Maybe a little too overzealous. They do get punished for it. They're not going to be able to get any picks off of it. And it gives Hukars opportunity to go for that lockdown. Oh, Russ is not in the best of scenarios, and with that Molly lineup, it doesn't land quite the way they might have wanted it to. Hukars does get onto site, but they do lose a member or two, but it's equalized immediately by Hukars as they're shooting back, and that's how Hukars are finishing off this first half. They actually have a 2-round lead.
Great fragment, just in time to delay that push into the site, and isolating Mishu onto site, but Hukars, they're still able to blow through, get that site, even though there's multiple players of Le Petit Bouffons, actually the whole team on that site. Now it's gonna be interesting to see whether Le Petit Bouffons can actually recreate this heavy attacking favor ascent that we have had today and yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's gonna be easy. Definitely. But Laza with 16 and 8 already popping off, it gives some hope, and especially when you have a shorty, it says to me that you have some kind of plan coming into this pistol round.
Yeah. I think a lot of the things that we've seen from the side of the two Bouffons is that they go for close range fights. They love allowing Link to put down that smoke and then playing around that utility that Link has put down, forcing the likes of Hukars to walk into them. Smoke's been already set down. The two Bouffons this time around are gambling onto that A site. They're able to go onto it uncontested as of now. They're even able to close that door, which is actually a perfect position for losers to be playing from, because now whoever is going to come through that door, you have a shotty in the face.
Yeah, not gonna be the easiest of challenge. Loser one still has one smoke left. He could utilize that. The Omen smoke coming through as well. David with the flash drive.
Yeah, a couple of these flash. Oh, that's the blind immediately, and putting the plan down the drain that the two Bouffons had initially. Mishu not making it any easier for them. As every member drops, and now Vong, the only one left, he's going to be able to tag out some of these players. But they're sticking it. They're not going to get tagged as of yet. Never mind, the halfway point is done. He's going out. He's through the smoke, but Mishu is ensuring that he's not going to be able to get another pick. That was looking so good.
One more bullet to the same exact position. Yeah. And I think David is down there. It's 1 versus 1, but no. Just wanting to push through that smoke. I think it's a fair effort right here. I think it's the only play you can make. You just cannot keep spamming with a ghost through that. Yeah, one more shot into David. That could have been the round. But now Le Petit Bouffons, they have to go for a eco actually. They do not want to go for a force. They got the spike down. They could have gone for that. They're feeling comfortable with 5 rounds on the board. And Hukars, and letting Hukars actually get that 9th round. Obviously, it's not won quite yet.
Yeah,
but
also,
it should be for the side of Hukars.
But also, you wouldn't want to risk it. If you go for that force and then Hukars does end up coming out on top, except when Luzu has that Marshall, you know, operator, Marshall, doesn't matter. He will one-tap you.
I guess so. That looks so good. Akimbo. No, Russ!
Ooh, Russ is unaccounted for completely. That gives him 2 free picks. All the commotion that Luzu was causing on Cat diverted the attention from Hukars. And it gave Russ a free opening.
Le Petit Bouffons, they're back at it again.
Back at it again.
Not with the white vans, but mind games, yeah. Mask really close. Oh, gets stacked. And gets taken out. The Seraph is really tough to play against. In the end, it's going to be Link's coast to just finish it out.
But Cray is creeping up from the back. Rasky does kind of have a feeling to it. Does get tagged heavily. And that is the 6th player of the round. The Killjoy turrets does so much on these pistol rounds and eco
Flawless!
Flawless, thrifty.
What? I mean, I said that Le Petit Bouffons, they're gonna give Hukars the 9th round.
Yeah,
but it's not quite over yet.
Yeah.
And yeah, they proved
That's been like the theme right here at Polaris, is like, I don't want to say that you win the game just because you have 12 rounds on the board. I'm not saying that until it actually says Team X has won the game, because this is literally insane how close some of these games have been, and the level of competition we've seen in the last 2 days is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. David having a rough game here. I wonder if it's because of the KO. Is that not... I don't think it's a comfort pick for David, but I don't think it's like too strange because you're duelist main. You should be able to flex to KO.
Yeah, but we've seen David a lot on the Chamber and the Jet, so it could potentially... that's kind of why I was a little caught off by the fact that Mishu was the one on the Jet, because we have sung David's praises on the Jet time and time again last year. So I was expecting this to be continuing into 2023.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm 99% sure that this is first official as a KO for David. I don't think he has played this previously. I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the first official one, getting rid of Ratsky. That opens up the side. I can't vote.
Ooh, Cray!
Just withering away.
That Cray util is just not okay. The use of his Killjoy has been absolutely immaculate to say the least, and even with that gunfire coming out from Cray, another player down mass left to fight for his life on mid, but Russ, he has anything to say about it. Another flawless by Lip to Bouffons. This is 2 flawless MP back to back.
This is scary. Once again, talking about the snowballing in attacking side. Getting that confidence, getting that momentum on your side is scary. Because who cares? They're gonna get insecure about their defensive side. And even if you have 3 players on your side defending that one side, and one of them is insecure, that might mean a guaranteed lost trade or lost fight. And when Le Petits, when they have the numbers, they're most likely gonna win those fights. Inside executes and all those. And who cares? I think one of the things that you pointed out as well, you need to see more aggression on this defensive side. Mishu playing is so far back, just shouldering that shows that they have no confidence quite right now to peak these hard angles. And yeah, I'm not saying that you should go swing wide there and just go for the pick.
Yeah.
But have some kind of plan to pressure some of these points.
Yeah, because it leaves Market completely unattended as well. Cat is also free for the taken. Tree now, they're able to move onto it as well. They're able to get Ratsky on the way onto site, and Akimbo is yet to push out of that smoke. He's holding his position quite well, and he's now going to get spotted out immediately by that knife, considering the fact he's destroyed it. They're closing out the door, and that could be that potential waiting game that Akimbo was looking for. Is now taking that card is completely taken off the table.
Oh, Cray being a menace as well, getting that 1 kill down. Another one, just one tapping away.
Yeah, Mishu doing the same, and so is Masked, which means that it's now 1 on 2. But when you have that player in hell, it's so difficult to clear out.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest positions to clear out. Especially if you don't have that KO fragment, if you don't have like a Sova Dart and an Odin.
Yeah.
Hell position is so hard to clear out. And that's why it's utilized so often. Especially Cypher players. They like to play Hell on the defensive side with their setups. Killjoy as well. I think it's one of the best places to play when you're playing defensive side. But when you get that post plant as well, it's nearly impossible to retake that unless you get the spam right. And that's what we call Twix Revenge. That position where Link went, Wong, just clearing out this mid.
Yeah, they were expecting the updraft from Mishu, and exactly, there was an updraft, there was a Blade Storm, but it was not coming out onto A side, which is usually where players do like to go for that aggressive play. But the aggression from Hukars gets punished. Every single member is taken down. They're struggling with these 1v1s, they're struggling with trades, they're struggling with getting pressure and space. And that's a concerning situation to be in, because that lead, that cushion that you've built up, it's now completely gone.
Absolutely. Ratsky.
Take flight.
Holding still, B. Holding strong in the backside. No utility inside. He doesn't want to expose this position, which could surprise Le Petits Bouffons. How many is he gonna take with him?
No. Ratsky from Boathouse immediately gets spotted out. Link is not taking any chances this time around, and now Akimbo is looking to wallbang. He's not going to initially get that pick off on Link, but he still has to deal with Luza, who is on a less than optimal situation when it comes to his HP, but with that blind coming in, they're able to peek him. But it's Link that falls down. Another flash coming in. They're going aggressive at it again. 9-8, and for the first time in a very long time, Lip to Bouffons in the lead.
Yeah, could it be even the first time in this map? I think it is.
Yeah.
Le Petit Bouffons, 4 rounds in a row. They had the same thing on that previous half. Now they just need to continue. If they want to win this map, they want to close out this 2-0. Who cars? They have operator on Mishu. And it's going to be placed in mid, but is it going to be denied? Just like we saw yesterday. Yeah, one smoke.
Immediately. Yeah. Le Petit Bouffons not taking any chances. There's no way that they're sending anyone even remotely down mid. They even get the spot on Mishu. So the thing is, Link using this ult here to this place, you're going to be in Hukars' head now because they know that you've used your ultimate. They know you've used from the shadow. They know you can be anywhere. You can be behind them. You can be in front of them. You can be in boathouse. They don't know where you are. And until he's accounted for, there we go. That's the util that's going to give away that it is going to be from B main. And Mask is going to be able to get onto that boathouse. Ratsky still playing. One player has been tagged with Link. He doesn't need to see him. Mask does find one, but he's stuck between boathouse and 4 members of the side of Le Petit Bouffons. He'll lose the one to come out on top. Misha does get that up trap, but immediately gets put down. And with that, Akimbo was the only one left. The spike is planted. It's the perfect position for Le Petit Bouffons to be in.
It absolutely is. And I love how the way you highlighted from the shadows from Link. It makes Hukars question their existence in A side. They're just looking for him. They're looking where Link is. And that allows them to have so much space. Akimbo just trying to find something. Get that gun saved.
Oh, he's gonna get tagged out as well. He's looking to hide, but with Russ and the rest of Le Petit Bouffons hot on his heels, there is no saving here.
No saving at all. Lockdown Hunter's Fury for the side of Le Petit Bouffons. Hukars, they have their Hunter's Fury of their own, but no economy to back it with.
And just like that, the lead that Hukars have had for the last rounds are now gone. Double digits for Le Petit Bouffons. Timeout being called, as it feels as Hukars have kind of let go of the gas pedal that they were stepping on. They were going very aggressively, they were going very quickly, very fast, but then I guess the attacking side blessing.
Yeah. And for me, it seems like Hukars, the only time that they're doing those aggressive plays are on eco rounds. Like this upcoming round, we're most likely gonna see some aggressive play. Misha trying to go for a kill, maybe have some setup with that. But you should do more of those when you're on rifle rounds, so you give a lot of pressure on the side of Le Petit Bouffons. I think that definitely would be the way to go. Obviously, not every team is going to play like that. Not every team is going to have a play style like that. But I think on Ascent, you cannot play so far back. You have to pressure. You have to take that mid control from time to time. Obviously, you don't have to do it every round, but just...
Yeah.
Making Le Petit Bouffons waste some utility to take control of mid is so crucial.
Yeah, most of the time, all Le Petit Bouffons has to invest is an owl drone. And that then forces Mishu to back off completely from mid, and it allows them to get... It allows Le Petit Bouffons to get into market, it gives them an advantage over mid. We need to see a little bit more of a pushback from Hukars, because right now, Le Petit Bouffons are dictating the pace. They are the ones dictating when Hukars is allowed to be aggressive, when they have to fall back, and they're forcing them to play their game rather than this being an equalized play field from what we've seen, especially in the first few rounds here.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I love the re-aggression from Hukars, but I think that flash is heard. Yeah, Le Petit Bouffons, they know exactly what's happening into A main.
Yeah. B is the place to be. Haha, that rhymed.
Take flight.
But they do also have to clear out a couple of these corners, and it feels like... Oh, Cray.
Oh, they know.
They know where Mast is. Mast giving it away just by shooting down Vong's drone. Because initially they weren't going to check that angle. It was a little trigger happy. Ratsky's gonna get blinded, still stuck onto that side. They aren't able to close the doors, but Ratsky a little disoriented, is not aware it loses already on switch. Mishu with the Marshall looking to do some sort of damage in any way, shape or form they possibly can, but the plant is already going down and all players are pushing out from CT. Smoke giving them a little bit of safety, allowing them to cross. But Luzo's hurt just as much. Flash is coming out. Market, though. Still have a player. Russ really does like playing from Market. He's going to be able to flash himself out. Knife's going to spot a couple of the players. Gets the first pick off. Mishu with the Sheriff is doing much, but Russ, once again, the thorn in their side. They cannot get rid of this man. Doing so much from that position. Securing Lipsy Bouffons another round. And that ult economy from Lipsy Bouffons and Hookars, to be completely honest, it's looking crispy.
Yeah. And in that situation, Russ, amazing flank. And birthday buff. Just
yeah, birthday buff, of course.
popping off. Great headshots. Amazing ultimates coming up. And Hookars, they are in a little bit of a pickle. Obviously, they have good ultimates as well. But Le Petits Bouffons, they are the ones who are driving the car. They're the ones who have the control of the pacing of this match, pretty much. Of this round.
The tank is empty for Hookars. And it feels like that's what's currently happening. They're unsure in terms of how to approach this. We've seen a timeout come out from them, and it looked like they were getting back a little. But it wasn't enough. And again, pressuring onto mid. The Bouffons love that mid pressure, and Radsky gets the spike down. So that needs to be going retrieved, but masked. And Radsky, hand in hand with the power of friendship, they're doing so much already, securing themselves around. That's the breather that they needed.
Yeah, Le Petits Bouffons trying to spice up the things. Make a little split onto B side, but it doesn't quite work. Radsky is... I think the perfect timing for Radsky. Great push onto B main. They have already kind of cleared it, and one is not going to look into that corner. That's the first pick. Spike down. Great going to go for the challenge. And Radsky at this time, it's going to be the better killjoy. But Le Petits Bouffons, they're looking for a more straightforward forward approach into this round.
Yeah. But again, Lipsy Bouffons, their ult economy is going to be doing so much. They have the Blade Storm, they have the lockdown. They can invest a lot into these rounds because the more they invest, the closer they are to closing out the game. Whereas for Hookars, their focus right now is pushing this to overtime, pushing this to at least getting a couple more rounds on the board. Hunter's Fury is going to be coming to destroy that lockdown, and Radsky even putting down Luzu. The Blade Storm is offline. The main fragger for Lipsy Bouffons is gone. Their main tactic of using that lockdown is gone. And I guess this answers the question. The Killjoy lockdown comes first, Hunter's Fury second. Does it make it a chicken or the egg? I don't know. But we
surprised. I'm surprised that Wong didn't try to snipe mask in that Hunter's Fury with Hunter's Fury of his own.
Yeah. But I guess they don't want to throw all their eggs into this round, because as much as closing this round would be important, they still will need to close out round number 13. Get that.
Radsky.
Oh, he goes with that Killjoy lockdown, but he's not aware as how close they are. He's looking to go for that pick. He finds the first, but that's all he's going to get. Mishu, though, ensuring that it's absolutely impossible for Lipsy Bouffons to get that lead. 30 HP left on Vaughn. Gets the lockdown. Has a smoke still to play with in terms of getting that plant. He's looking to position back into both house. Hunter's Fury is still available from, but how proximity he is to that spike. It's not going to be able to play with it. It's not going to even have the opportunity to.
Yeah, Hookars closing in. Only one round between these two teams. Le Petits Bouffons, they still have a good economy. Hookars is building up their own. And this is the close map that we wanted to see.
Need a drop.
This might be the OT that we were missing from the first map in this matchup.
Give MP OT and he's happy.
I am happy.
Simple man.
All I need in my life is a little bit of OT.
Some good Valorant.
Absolutely. Few ultimates coming in this round. Mishu with the operator once again. Lassa seems to want to go forward, but the paranoia just clears out that angle.
Oh, Loser is gonna manage to get himself into market, but immediately shut down. It's not even gonna have a chance to look at any of the players. And again, the main entry fragger for Petits Bouffons gone, just like that. I want to say gone in the wind because Jet's wind, but I haven't actually watched the movie, so I should not be making any references.
That's a movie? Okay. Link. Closing in on short. Just trying to get that operator away. One smoke will do. Russ positioned in a lobby. It's been quite a long time since Le Petit Bouffon has attacked onto A side. Is David and Akimbo ready for this?
Yeah, they're gonna spot out both of them, and reinforcements coming through in the form of Mishu. Window is yet to be broken, so that does give the Petit Bouffon a little bit of safety, but they're bringing the spike through rafters rather than the very classic coming on to main.
30 seconds left.
They're gonna be able to spot one player. There is still David. They know that he's on site. Mishu with the Blade Storm is going for the double trap, but immediately gets put down. Cray was expecting that. He knew that that was gonna happen, and he was absolutely ready for it. A couple of shot darts, but Russ again in the back, unaccounted for. Mast does this time around manage to punish that. Hunter's Fury still online. 2 players to play against. Little turd coming in is going to eventually spot him out, and that's indeed what's going to happen. Petit Bouffon, they don't want to give isolated 1v1s. It's a matter of waiting this out. But instead, Mask go for the peak. And the Petit Bouffon are on match point.
Match point.
They took it slowly, but really, really well. That was so methodic approach into that A side. Not going the traditional way of just taking tree control and rushing through the door into A main, or A side rather. But just waiting, going for that heaven. Be ready for Russ to aggress through A main at the same time you're ready in heaven. And just great approach into side. Catches one player off guard, one gets another. And in the end, they close it out. Good dart coming through, doesn't quite spot Akimbo. And the Hunter's Fury is not gonna do anything.
Oh, Lizzo going again a little too overzealous and is the first one to be put down from the side of Le Petit Bouffon, but they've made it work last round. They didn't need Lizzo to close that one out. So, this time around, having him off the picture could not be as detrimental as potentially we would have thought initially. Operator, though, is available for Mishu, and Akimbo is also ensuring that no one's getting close to the A site. Spike is down, and Russ left to fight for himself. Only a couple of points of HP left, but Cray is the last one standing, looking to go up for rafters, but immediately Hukar said not today. Flawless round coming in, just one away from pushing this to overtime.
Yeah, Le Petit Bouffon make it so much faster. A really, really fast push on the tree, but Lazar gets taken out instantly because that dart, it doesn't spot anyone. The Hunter's Fury doesn't connect.
Nope.
They're setting this pace for a really, really fast hit. But I think Le Petit Bouffon for this last round, they need to slow it down. They need to come back to the ground level. And Lassa, with the operator, is going to do just that.
It's also important to highlight that this is Le Petit Bouffon's pick. And it's going way closer than Fracture, which is the map that Hukar's picked. So it's putting a couple of questions in terms of how comfortable they are on a lot of these maps, not just for Le Petit Bouffon, but also for Hukar's.
Yeah, I think... Oh, Lassa, just waiting for that mistake from David. That could be it. That could be the opening in the round that they exactly need. Can Mishu punish some kind of rotations coming through? Can they find something back?
I mean, the operator on mid from Lizzo. But it can pay off. But the thing is here, the fact that Lizzo actually got that first initial pick. We haven't seen it in a while, and Mishu immediately with that jet as well. That's a spike. They're certainly aware that that was towards Cat. So reinforcement is going to be going on to A. But you still have one player left on B side. So at least it's still being attended.
25 seconds. Mishu is already closing in. I think Le Petit Bouffon, they might be a little bit late here. No, Mishu gets dealt with. Almost.
He gets pushed out of that comfortable CT position, but masked. He's spotted. He does get taken out. Link is making sure the operator is offline from the side of Hukar's. Only 2 players left. Fratsky and Akimbo need to close this one out if they have to. Akimbo waiting for that reinforcement. Doesn't want to go all by himself, but they are spotted. They are aware that it's CT that they're looking to push for. The blind's already been used. The turret's gonna spot a few more players as well. Lane being watched. And everything is covered from the side of Les Petits Bouffons. They dotted their I's to check their T's. But is that gonna be enough? Because Hookars, they don't want to go down on their own map pick. Oh, Ratsky misses.
Is there time?
Kimbo, there's still some time. He's gonna have it halfway, but Ling pushes out immediately. There's no more time to go for the defuse. Luzu with a shorty to be the one to close it out all. 13-11 for Les Petits Bouffons, winning both their map pick and Hookars' map pick Ascent. And just like that, a clean 2-0 for both games today.
Absolutely.
You had hope. I can see it in your eyes. You were like, yes, there's a chance. I'm sorry for your prediction.
I had hope for Hookars, and I think for that last map, it was really close. Just 2 rounds apart. Hookars,
Yes.
they had a great chance. They had a great
Absolutely.
chance in that last round as well. But it doesn't quite end up going to their way. They're not quite fast enough for the retake. And I was gonna say, amazing performance from Les Petits Bouffons. Lassa, in special, I think the fracture was all of Lassa's role. This second map, it wasn't quite as much. He obviously had these great highlights, a lot of great picks, great individual plays. There's a lot of people stepping up. Link with, what, 3 clutch attempts? Only winning 1 of them, but really close with multiple others.
Yeah, it feels like this time around, Hookars did push Les Petits Bouffons to their limits. So again, this is a good learning experience from Les Petits Bouffons because, as they said it themselves, they kind of cruised through the break. And so this time around, a VOD to look over and really figure out what the little issues were, what they want to highlight, what they want to focus on going into next week. Because again, Hookars, definitely one of the top teams, but you still have the likes of Apex you're going to have to be dealing with. So it's important for them to take this as a learning experience.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, you go to this like off season. You have 6 months to prepare, maybe even a little bit more. You can prepare a lot of stuff, get good in that time. But I think Hookars, they're gonna benefit a lot in these official games because they haven't played a lot of officials with this lineup. They haven't been in this situation with this lineup quite yet that many times. I think it's only 2 matches that they have played previously with this lineup in this formation in like last half a year, last 3 months. And I think it's a great experience going against Les Petits Bouffons. Amazing experienced roster. When we see these players, I was already going through the rosters. They have been through Mouse, Mad Lions and 10-star and Guild, Liquid, Focus, all of those, and it shows for the side of Les Petits Bouffons.
Yeah, a lot of experience there, but also, and when we're looking at the MVPs, as expected, the Jets both coming out on top. I think both Luzu and Mishu have had such an instrumental impact on these games, getting early picks, getting a lot of clutches as well. The Bladestorms, the Operators, the Marshals, both very well-rounded individuals, and you gotta give it to them. They did great.
Absolutely, and that was one of the things where I was like, Hookars, they have to have one player to step up, not be stalemated all over the board and have like 10 to 13 kills, and Mishu step up on the plate, but it wasn't quite enough. 2 rounds difference, and Les Petits Bouffons, they take the win. Hookars, they have to go back to the board. They have to rethink their approach. I think it was technically good. I think Hookars weren't definitely bad in this matchup.
Absolutely not.
But there is still a difference, especially in that fracture between these 2 teams.
Yeah, and I think also like Hookars, you're going up against Les Petits Bouffons. I think one of the teams that a lot of us know that we were expecting it to be a strong team coming into this simply because of the experience that we've seen on these players. So the fact that they have been able to put such a performance forward against very experienced players, considering they have only been, playing Polaris, they haven't actually, gotten up to that tier 1 level yet. I think that is very promising from them as a team again. So not to take away anything from them, there's still a lot of matches going ahead. And again, this is just the first week. Maybe you're a little nervous, maybe you're just not sure what to be expecting from your opponents. But now I think that we've seen every single team play on this first week. A lot of questions have been answered, and a little bit of VOD review is to be done for every single one of the teams we've seen so far.
Of course, and that's the thing that's gonna happen after this first week. The VOD reviews are gonna go strong. Maybe even Andy Stratting coming through. Picks and bans, they might switch up because you know what these teams kind of like to play. So there's gonna be definitely some mind games coming through, and I think it's gonna matter more for the coaching staff, for the analysts. And that's where we're gonna see a lot of the talent, especially for the side of Who Cars as well. Andreas, they highlighted him as a great coach and a new addition to this roster, and I want to see more. I want to see like anti-stratting Andreas getting a lot of these strats down, and more for the Who Cars' map pool.
Yeah, and I think also
Le Petit Bouffons as well.
Yeah, I think just from what we've seen so far, I'm happy with all the performances from every single one of the teams. Again, even in some of the interviews we've had already, nerves is something that does come up a little. We have a mixed bag of experience in terms of how many officials a lot of these teams have played. There's also a huge break between the last time we've seen some of these players, like taking Who Cars, for example, into consideration. It's been 6 months since their last official. So as you said it yourself, MP, getting these games in is really important for them to brush up on their skills. And one of the most focused points I think should be for next week is going to be fundamentals. It feels like some of the teams have a couple fundamental issues here and there that need to be, ironed out. Maybe not so much with the teams that do have a lot more experience. Surprise, surprise. But all in all, fundamentals being cleared up, getting a couple of strategies down. We've seen more from Who Cars. It's not the same as, you lose one player, you're absolutely lost off the round, you don't know what you want to do. Same for Human Tripwires. I'm very, very pleasantly surprised with the development that we've seen from both of these teams, and we can clearly tell the last 6 months, they've put it to use.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for the side of Who Cars, once again, they have school, they have work. So the focus is not completely in this, and think about that is amazing what they have been able to do. But one of the things that I was already talking about in Ascent, I want to see more of that proactive stuff, especially in mid, trying to control that mid, do something there, maybe have some kind of setups. Already on the last round, we saw Mishu aggressing through mid with that operator, just trying to get that route even to 4v4 situation. And that's one of the things that I really want to see from this open chat, this proactive stuff, going for those picks, going for those aggressive angles. And I would like to have someone else to support him. Usually we see Sova support in Ascent, having that drone maybe in B lobby clear a lot of the space. That's what we saw for Le Petit Bouffons. Yeah. But I think there were some pieces missing here and there. But Who Cars, I think they have a really good standing. I think they have a really, really solid base under them and a lot of synergy. But Le Petit Bouffons, just today, they were on a better level, and I think their synergy is already really good compared to like Who Cars. Who Cars have been together for so much longer compared to Le Petit Bouffons. But I think Le Petit Bouffons, they have a really good understanding of the game, and the synergy has built up from these last 3 months. They have played multiple officials with each other and multiple scrims, I would imagine. So the synergy will build up eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. And we even have an interview ready, so we're able to ask Russ, the man of the hour himself. Happy birthday, by the way. How does it feel? Birthday buff coming through?
Something like that, I guess.
I mean, there was some amazing moments for you as well in that matchup. How do you feel that you guys performed in this first day, in this first official overall? Were you guys happy with your performance, or is there something you need to work on?
Yeah, well, I was definitely happy. Obviously, there are things to work on in terms of Ascent and stuff. But other than that, it was it was perfect from us. We had all the reads, and the team played amazing.
Yeah, I really liked watching you. You said already that you guys had reads. Does it come down to Matti getting some reads, some stuff for you, or is Matti's involvement quite heavily seen already on the team, or is it just like starting to build up? Or how do you see this coaching position? Because you added him a week ago?
Yeah, so far we had Matty for a week now, and honestly, our prac improvement's gone really well. We've been doing really well. We fixed a lot of things so fast, and in terms of the reads and stuff, it was a team effort, honestly, and I felt like I actually knew what was going on the whole time. So the information that was being relayed to me and stuff was like perfect from the team. So I'll play to them as well.
Okay, communication looks to be on point. You did say that there are a couple of things that you feel like you need to take away and improve on. Is there anything specific that you're very going to be heavily focusing on for the next week?
Probably the anti-ecos for sure. Everyone's the god of the sheriff, so yeah.
Yeah, some of that aim lab coming in. But thank you so much for taking the time for doing the interview. Wishing you guys the best of luck. It was lovely seeing you here in Polaris. So welcome to you all.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Thank
happy
you so
birthday.
much. Thank you.
Well, it looks like just from the answers that we're getting out of Rust here for Les Petits Bouffons, they're aware. And I think that's definitely a good thing to be, especially when, you know, again, yes, they win 2-0, but maybe not as cleanly as potentially they might have expected it to. So being aware of at least one thing to focus on and for the next week is very important here, MP.
Yeah, and what a scary thing to see already, or hear rather, that Matti has been as a coach for this team for a week,